Sources tell NBC News that House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy plans to appoint Republicans to the newly created House Select Committee on the January 6th attack on the Capitol, where there are currently 5 unfilled seats. Some Republicans, like Congressman Rodney Davis of Iowa, have even publicly volunteered to join the committee. Joining me now is a member of that committee, Democratic Congresswoman from Florida, Stephanie Murphy. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time. I want to first get your reaction to this new reporting that Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is now in discussions with his fellow Republicans about joining the House Select Committee.
Well, I'm certainly glad that the House Minority Leader is willing to appoint members to this committee. I certainly hope, though, that he appoints members who are willing to approach this issue from an apolitical perspective, just as the members who have already been appointed are committed to doing.
As I mentioned, Congressman Rodney Davis, a relatively moderate Republican, has shown interest, but it's possible that McCarthy would instead select, hardline supporters of the former president. What concerns do you have that Republicans could try to derail the committee's investigations? Do you think that the selections would be made in good faith to try to get to the bottom of the unanswered questions surrounding that day?
Look, on January 6th, the Capitol was attacked by an angry mob of people who hurt law enforcement, sought to capture the Republican vice president, and were hunting down lawmakers, in addition to folks who had put pipe bombs around the building. One would hope that such a dangerous environment would have a unifying effect on the Congress, and that we would have serious members who are patriots, not partisans, participate in a select committee that would get to the bottom of what happened and how we can prevent it from ever happening again.
I want to ask you a personal question about how safe you feel, because yesterday on the 6-month anniversary, Capitol Police Chief Pittman talked about more training, more resources for the officers there. How do you feel when you go to work in Congress every day? Do you feel safer than you did back on January 6th?
Well, obviously, I think there's a heightened personal responsibility to be a bit more aware of your surroundings and to be more attuned to the social media threats and other reporting that's out there. But I think there's so much more that we can do together to keep the Capitol safe, not just for lawmakers, but also for the media that calls the Capitol their workplace, and the law enforcement officers who are there trying to do their best to protect the Capitol, as well as the tourists who will one day, I hope, return to be able to witness democracy in progress. So we have to get the data, the facts, and then appropriately make recommendations and then resource them.
Congresswoman, allow me to pivot to another topic, if you don't mind. You are also a member of the Armed Services Committee. Yesterday, military leaders in this country announced that the U.S. has completed 90% of its withdrawal from Afghanistan. But we're also seeing the reality, based on our own reporting, that the Taliban is quickly seizing control of territories, previous outposts. They're taking American weapons that were in the hands of the Afghan military. What do you make of these startling developments, how fast things are moving? Should the U.S. consider its withdrawal?
I recognize that this withdrawal is what the public wants, a war-weary public. And it's the reason why this withdrawal was initiated under the Trump administration, and it's currently being carried out by the Biden administration. What I am concerned about is that the Taliban will be able to overtake Afghan government and reestablish a terrorist stronghold from which they can attack Americans. I'm also concerned about the Afghan people who were affiliated with the U.S. military and what they might face as the U.S. military withdraws. So we need to work very closely with the Department of Defense to ensure that our U.S. military still has the ability to have counter-terrorist activities going on in Afghanistan from over the horizon, and then work to ensure that we take care of the Afghan people who were fighting alongside our military over the last few decades.